in that fourth quarter? What could you?
Thank you, Doug. That's outrageous. What happened tonight? This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this. 23 free throws for them, and we get 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Like, how to play the game. I understand respect for all stars and all that, but we have star players on our team as well. How's possible that Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you going to explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
Personally, I believe the main problem is consistency. I don't believe the Lakers were actually getting calls that weren't contact initiated. Like, I believe every single foul was an actual foul according to the NBA standards today. But I think the problem is consistency, because I think the reason that the Toronto Raptors head coach went out so all out and was so aggravated was because, hey, we just played 2 nights ago, and those same calls that you called for the Lakers, you didn't call them. So was it because we played the Lakers, and was it because that the Lakers are battling for playoff position that you just gave them all of these calls when on other nights you don't? But on some other nights they do give these calls. I'm not saying that they never give calls like this. They do. I'm a Warriors fan. I've seen these calls be given to my Warriors and against my Warriors, and to the Mavs and against the Mavs. You know, I watch a lot of games of the Nuggets, and I've seen it against the Nuggets. But the issue is the consistency. And it seems like certain players get more fouls than other players. And that's something that the coach was talking about. Hey, I've got Scotty Barnes on my team. And Scotty Barnes is who he believes will be one of the faces of the NBA. He said the face of the NBA, but that's not the conversation, and that's not what I'm going to pinpoint or pick. But the fact of the matter is LeBron James gets those calls, and then I've got Scotty Barnes, who's also playing great basketball, averaging 21, like 7 and 6, something around those. He's not getting those calls, and he goes to the paint. There's no way you're going to say he doesn't get any contact. But then you're going to say, oh, well, if this contact doesn't, qualify for a foul, well, 3 games ago when we played against Giannis Antetokounmpo, all of those were fouls. And I get it, because I know 4 games ago we played against AD, and those same calls weren't fouls. So it's the consistency. It's not that I believe that the NBA is like rigging it, and then just some players they're gonna give them calls and then some players they don't. It's the consistency about it. You have to be consistent in your calls. Every single night it should be the same calls. The same, there should be one criteria for a foul. It shouldn't be relative to how we're feeling or who you're playing against, or even if it's not and they just mess up, you got to get it right. You got to be robotic about it, because you're playing on the highest stage, and you're costing people games. And consistency and just the flow of it, it's no reason these people should be playing basketball for 82 games in a season and they're constantly playing. It's it's repetitive, like on back-to-backs. Then you have 2-3 days off back to back, and then over this period of time where they're just flying place to place, they're not even gonna gain into a routine of what's gonna be criteria for a foul and what's not going to be criteria for a foul. We live in a day and age where free throws are such a big part of the game that being a free throw merchant is a part of getting the MVP. How does Embiid, you got Trae Young, Dame Lillard, a lot of these players, Giannis Antetokounmpo, they've built catalogs around free throws. A lot of these players are built on shooting free throws. It's a big part of our game. So you got to tell these guys when they're going to get free throws, when they're not. Jokic never really gets much free throws, but then on a one random night in Golden State, or it may have been, it was on Christmas. I don't know what arena they were in, but on one random night he shoots 18. That's inconsistency. It's inconsistent because he never shoots free throws like that. They never give him calls. He has one of the worst whistles in the league amongst NBA superstars. Yet on one random night he gets 18 free throws. And the reason that he got that many was because Jokic realized, oh, on this night they're just going to give me all these calls, so I'm going to just foul. You have to have a basis, and it has to be set, and it cannot be relative. It must be set in stone. Every night you got to know what to expect. Every night. It shouldn't be this night is this thing and then this night is that thing. It's got to be every single night. There has to be a criteria and a backbone to officiating. And I think not that the NBA is rigged, but that the NBA needs to be more professional. This is basketball at the highest level. You have to be more professional. And being professional calls for having a criteria for these players who play 82 straight games. Some guys don't, like Joel Embiid. Some guys sit out, Ben Simmons. But for the guys that do, the Kevon Looney's of the world who go out there every single night and play, you got to have a consistent basis on which you're saying yes and no to them. You can't say yes to them one night and then no to them the other night and then yes to them one night and then no to them the other night and then you just said no to them last night and then the next night you're going to say yes to the other team. Like, that's ridiculous. You have to have a set basis, and I get the frustration because if I was out there and we played NBA basketball for this long on, every single night, basketball, and you can't even give us a fixed criteria for what a foul is, that's absurd and insane. So I guess that's my little coverage on the situation. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. And yeah, man, I'll see y'all. Peace out.